Right now, we are in Key West, and we're about to check out the abandoned Shipwreck Museum.
It's actually not abandoned, it's in a museum. But we're gonna check it out.
Exactly.
There it is. This big tower, right there, we're gonna get to climb that thing. We're gonna take you along with us. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Plus, we're in Key West. We love Key West.
Yeah, what's not to love, really?
And we cordially invite you to come along for the adventure.
Come along.
Arty, arr, 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 arr. Got a trolley right here. Hop on, hop off. Got lots of trolleys, trains, cool stuff. Look, there's a ship right there. I don't know what one it is, but that is a cruise ship. How big that thing protrudes over the buildings.
No freaking way.
It has not wrecked yet, but everything we find in this museum is from wrecked ships. And there it is, right there. There's the tower. We're gonna climb up and see what kind of view we get up there. It's gonna be pretty sweet, I think.
It is.
Downtown.
Going up where?
Up there.
Oh, here we go again.
Downtown Key West. But let's take a look at the museum. We're gonna go on up, take a look around. All kinds of cool shops, places to eat down here. Tons of people on the bicycles. You got bicycles, you got trolleys, you got trains, you got golf carts, you got roosters. What else do people ride? Oh, the scooters. They don't ride the roosters, but the scooters. Just lots of stuff for people to do in here. Is the Key West Shipwreck Museum.
And if you decide to ride a rooster, please take a video of it and send it to us.
There's a wrecked looking ship right outside the Key West Shipwreck Treasures Museum. I said Shipwreck Museum, right? It's actually Shipwreck Treasures Museum. That's a little difficult to say.
Oh my goodness sakes, man.
Let's go. Hello. Here he is.
There he is.
Now hiring lumpers, $1 per day.
What is a lumper?
Look at this. I climbed tower. We got two of them. We haven't actually climbed the tower yet, but oh, we're going into the dark.
Oh boy.
Key West is the only eligible situation for a depot of wrecked property on the whole coast of Florida. John Simonton, the first American owner of Key West.
There is scarcely a day that you may not see in the business season from 100 to 150 square-rigged vessels entering or clearing the Gulf off Key West.
I walk up the stairs now. The video's playing down there, so we're gonna be quiet for a minute. For people to enjoy the film that we just saw a little bit of. Cotton treasure. What we got here?
If you want to hear it.
Oh yes, please.
In the first few cases, you will find artifacts from Spanish ships. Prior to 1800, nobody lived here in the Keys, but we had busy waterways out there. I'm not going to tell the whole story of that first case, but I do want you to notice the coins in that case. Those are Spanish pieces of 8. They were still being handmade then. They would cut a piece of silver from the bar, hammer it flat. It's where we get the expression making money hand over fist. They would then cut away at that silver until it weighed 8 reals. Once they had that 8 real piece, that'd be about an ounce to us, by the way. They would stamp it with the royal seal, and it was a coin, but it was a very unreliable coin. Dishonest folks would chip and shave silver from those coins, and you couldn't tell. And the King of Spain, not a fan of this at all. He decided that going forward, his currency would be machine minted. So if you look at the coins that were aboard El Cazador 50 years later, you can see that his goal was accomplished. El Cazador was on her way to New Orleans. She was bringing financial aid for the struggling Spanish territory of Louisiana and failed to arrive. They call it the shipwreck that changed the world because many believe it was the failure of this ship to arrive with that aid that forced Spain to cede the territory back to France. We know what happened after that, but we might have a very different map of the U.S. had this ship made it. Instead, it sank 50 miles south of New Orleans in over 300 feet of water, and it sat there for more than 200 years. In 1993, it was finally discovered when a fishing vessel trawling in the Gulf brought up that cluster of silver coins pictured on the right. The name of the ship that brought up that cluster of coins was the Mistake. So that is the treasure found by mistake right there. Now I strongly encourage everyone to lift the silver bar that's in this next little case. This was aboard the Nuestra Senora de las Maravillas when that ship sank off the coast of the Bahamas in 1656. You do have to use both hands to lift that bar to get a sense of the density of it. I strongly encourage you.
Yeah, give it a try.
I'm gonna give it a try.
You're gonna reach in and grab the actual silver bar.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, pretty
Nice
heavy.
job.
64
Oh, thank
pounds of treasure.
There would have been 300 to 1,000 of those on any given Spanish ship in our waters. And when Florida became part of the U.S. in 1821, they decided the pirates had to go. So they created an anti-piracy squadron. They sent Commodore David Porter down here in 1823 to run it. And in 2 years' time, they had effectively eliminated piracy in our waters.
Wow.
Very impressive. And the beginning of the naval presence here on our island, very important part of our history. But it
These
represents
black
an
glass
actual
bottles are in
cargo
reality dark
shipwreck
hues of green or in some
piano that was
cases amber.
salvaged by the wreckers
Their
back
density
then.
coloring is
They
caused
say
by a
after
high
that
content of
destroyer
iron
created
oxide
the
or other
settlement,
impurities in the
and I
sand
like to think
used
of
to
it as
make
being
the
the
glass.
beginning of us into that category
Champagne was
as
first created by French
There's
monks in the
also stuff
16th
like
century.
the tobacco. This is real tobacco. It is not from the 1800s.
And these bottles here have
It's
never
just
been
here
identified.
representing commonly salvaged cargo. So you'll
Some have
find more of
suggested
all
it
of
could have
that
been
as you
medicine,
head
especially that
upstairs,
smaller bottle.
along with tools of the trade
But they don't know for
spread
sure.
out. You're going to find the exit to
And
our
over here we got
tower
beer,
up there as well. Enjoy that climb.
ale, or
We'll
cider
reward
would have
you
been.
with beautiful views and
All of these bottles
really
here,
good
because all of these
exercise.
come
There is
in
a
that
bell up
shipwreck.
there. I encourage you to ring it. I used to just say that to children, but adults can have fun too. You should ring
You
the
got
bell.
lotion?
It is one flight from the top.
Excuse me,
When
London
you're
mustard.
done, you're going to come down the other
London
side
mustard.
of that stairway,
That's what this
and
is,
that's
not
going to
lotion.
bring you out through those last exhibits. I apologize for the
Mustard
couple that are
squares,
under
much-
renovation. There's
they
still
once
a lot of
contained
cool stuff
powdered
to see
mustard.
over there. It's a more modern hip. So I think
The ship's rails
that's why
seen here
they
were
chose
salvaged from the
to
Isaac
do
Allerton
the display.
during the 1985 discovery by Doug Jones Sr. The railing still had rope wrapped around it. Unfortunately, the rope did not survive.
Very nice. It's interesting
salvage,
because
that's
I've had
too
a
bad.
few people talk to me about this piano.
The
One
hawse
of them
pipes are hawse holes
said
made of
he
cast
was
iron
sure he had seen
and were
this
used to
piano
create a
before.
channel
And
in
he
the
went
hull at the
upstairs
bow
and
or
came back
stern of a
down
ship
and had
through
found
which
a
the heavy
picture of a
ropes
piano that
or
looked,
hawsers
if it's
attached to
not
anchors.
identical, pretty close to
run.
this one, that is at Monticello. Now,
And up
if
here we got the Deadeye.
the company that made
Deadeye is a thick, round wooden disc used in the rigging of traditional sailing ships.
Where the name is, but
Single hole
yeah,
deadeyes, also known as bullseyes, are used to guide, control, and change direction
so if
of the
it
lines.
isn't Jefferson's house, it was either put there after, or this piano was modeled after the one that's in Jefferson's
winch.
house, and I don't know which it is.
Mounted near the
There's
opening of the
also a
cargo
piano
hold,
like this one,
turned by
and I have
sailors
one in
manning a hand
the,
crank. It was used to lift heavy
curator at a
loads,
museum. I think
such
it's
as the
in
consignment of fine marble
and she
Isaac
said
Allerton
they
was
have a
carrying
piano
from the
like
dock
this one as well.
onto the ship
And then I
and
got
into
a
the
woman
hold below.
who restores old
Then, of course, they would
pianos
reverse
who
the
would have
process
loved to have come
when
back
they
here and
were
worked on this
unloading
piano.
the cargo.
But that's really cool. You grew up with this
The one
piano.
I grew up with was a chickering.
That's the trumpet there?
Yeah, I would call it a bugle.
A bugle.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I used to play trumpet. That definitely doesn't look like one that I ever played.
Quite a bit older probably than anything
Yes.
you would have played.
Usually even a bugle has a loop in it.
Yeah, the loop. That's why that's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And again, that is one of those period pieces.
Uh-huh.
Not really sure the history of the piece. There's no literature around, like signage around that informs me anything about it. Very interesting.
Yeah, thank you. And where's this piano from?
The piano was a gift for a young lady. It arrived here in the 1880s. I believe it came from New York. She married into the Curry family, and then it was passed down for generations in that family before being donated to the museum.
Wow.
It's here to represent a cargo of pianos that were shipwrecked and salvaged by the wreckers.
The divers came down from the Isaac Allerton and say, there's a great deal of cargo on her yet. They've got the two capitals and other things. Yeah.
How it got there, they just kind of discovered this.
I'd like to go
in the attic. And they
and get into a
occasionally
shipwreck, wouldn't you?
to the museum.
What in the
So
world
that is
are
one
you
of the
talking
things I
about?
like
Bring back all this stuff.
possible.
I thought you meant that you'd like to be on a shipwreck.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it could
no
happen.
way. There's no way. I would not like to be on a ship when it wrecks.
I'm gonna say that you're a pretty wild man, but I didn't think that you're that wild.
But I would enjoy going down there and getting some of this stuff. That'd be cool.
Well, you have to swim with the sharks.
Oh yeah, and you have to know how to dive, which I don't know how to do that either.
They weren't trained back then either.
Oh, that's true.
They just went. So if you're ready.
Yeah, they went with just like a rope to try to guide them or something like that. That wasn't real well planned out like it is nowadays when you go on a dive.
And they would go in the dark to try to figure out where the ship was, damaged at. She said they would go underneath in the dark and feel around.
Try to find where the treasure was.
My
This is a
first
model from the USS Maine, amongst many other ceremonial items crafted with metal from the ship in the early 1900s. That is very cool. That is just awesome.
They must have thought they were out
Look
of
at
their
that.
minds being offered those things, someone wanting them to put that on. It looks heavy and cumbersome.
Very well done.
Would have cut down their field of vision. So thank you, you as well. Enjoy your day. Have fun.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Let's head on.
Thank you.
Upstairs we go to the next level. Got it wary. I said they got it wary. They got it very well decorated. Here's
Very.
a schooner, derived from the Scottish verb to schoon, to skip over the water like a flat stone. Can you do that? Can you bounce the stone? No, not with your hand. I mean, can you bounce a stone in the water?
Yes, of course. At times.
A schooner is a vessel rigged with fore and aft sails on her, 2 or more masts. And here is this beauty.
I wonder why they call it a hearse.
And what's cool is, like, if the sails break apart in the wind or whatever, you can jump on this little boat here, and you're good to go. Of course, if something is causing the sails to break apart, I don't know how well that boat's going to hold up anyway, right?
And not only that, if you get on that little boat right there and you decide to go, I bet it's going to be a lot more rough sailing.
Nice. But this guy's ready to handle it. Look at him. He's ready.
Look at him.
All right, over here we have the Wrecker's Lookout Tower. Hello. What are you doing?
Darn.
Let's see what we got out here.
Push here.
We are in the outside world. Here we go. Let's go. You ready? Can you handle it? We're taking a walk. Well, just to give you an idea, it's pretty high.
Oh gosh.
Let's see. Wooden steps
You should
on the way up.
taken out insurance money. Insurance. You should have got some insurance.
Life insurance.
Yes.
Do not climb, sit, or
Life
stand
insurance.
on railing.
Oh man.
Well, I was just about to stand up there.
Golly.
Some of the warnings that they put on things just make absolutely no sense.
Although it must have happened once if somebody put that
Yeah.
there. Or at least you'd think. Or they got ahead of people's stupidness.
It says they have video and audio surveillance monitored live on the web. Look at the view up here already.
Woo!
Oh my goodness. There's the cruise ship. Apex. Never heard of that brand.
If anybody wants to purchase us a couple of tickets to go on a cruise,
Yeah.
we greatly appreciate
We'll
it.
even give you a shout out in the video 100 times.
Exactly.
Maybe 1,000 times.
Yes. You can even come aboard with us.
All right, let's keep it going. Just a gorgeous day. So what is it, 80, 81, something like that. 81 degrees, February, that's right, you heard that right. February, 81 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
Just doesn't get better. And we're getting higher, and Heather is not gonna make it, I don't think. Are you gonna make it? Heather's two decks down still. Got a bell to ring. Got ship out there.
Oh my God. Is this what was made up of old ship? Oh my
I hope not.
Oh my god.
Oh wow, we're up here alone. What are we going to do? Atlantic Ocean. There's even a flag up here. Well, we are way up here. And this thing, it feels sturdy, I guess. Yeah. It's wood though, but you know. Oh, wee. It's high. Look at this. Oh my goodness. And look at the gorgeous view from up here of the ocean and Key West, the Apex cruise ship. There's another Key West Museum, that red building right there in front of us. Right there is a museum. Here's Heather over here looking scared out of her mind. She made it though, good job.
Oh, thank you.
Heather made it. For those of you wondering, you can actually watch this, I guess, live. So people are watching us up here making a fool of ourselves on the Key West Harbor Webcam.com. Again, that's Key West Harbor Webcam.com. Here we are. What a gorgeous view. Wow. I don't think you can get a better view of Key West than right here on top of this tower. Bunch of boats out there. I don't know if people are actually on those boats right now or if a bunch of them are just docked there on the water, because there are a lot of them around. And then there's some floating by over here. All right, now we can put the sticker on because we did climb the tower. We had not climbed it when we already had the sticker, which makes no sense. But now we have climbed it. You know? Isn't this a great view up here though? Oh, you can even ring a bell.
The victory bell. You made it.
Yeah.
You can get a great suntan up here.
Yeah, you can. Just enjoy the bright sunshiny day.
Nice bright sunshine.
We have some other friends up here now. We're not alone anymore.
Not alone. We have many people to hold our hands.
That's right. So Heather just told me about a rule when we're up here on top of the tower. I cannot stand, or what was the other part of it?
Don't stand
Or get
walk
close
by.
or walk by you, because we cannot stand on the same piece of wood together, because then it might break.
Exactly.
Okay.
No
So-
standing on the same piece of wood or walking on it with Heather. None of that.
Right. We got it figured out now. I know the rules. I am standing now on a different piece of wood
Exactly.
than you are, so we're good.
Yeah, and you can feel a little bit of give
Yeah.
in the wood. So it's just a real treat. It's like it's awesome to see this side, and then you feel like, you know, a little bit of like you're living on the wild side.
Yeah, it's a little shaky. A little, the wind hits it or people step on it, a little shaky. All right, let's continue the tour.
Yeah, let's do it.
And one other thing I noticed while looking out here is that this appears to be an island with no land access. So kind of like Fisher Island out there in Miami. You can only get there on a boat. A bunch of houses on there as well. Some people out here enjoying the water. All right, gonna head back in. Finish the tour. That's it for the tower. Cool, really awesome views up there. Heather ran away from me and she said it's time to be done with the tower, so we're back inside now. Here we go.
About 20 people up there now,
Go ahead.
breaking my rules.
Everybody's breaking your no stand on the same piece of wood rule. Historical heirloom, please do not touch. I know it's hard for you. I know that's hard. What's this guy talking about over here? He's going on and on.
Here's your long lost uncle.
Captain Philpott.
Yep. Oh my goodness, I see the resemblance too. Oh, he does too.
Hello, Captain Philip.
Hello. What's the
Captain
matter?
Philip Philpott.
Cat got your tongue?
He turned into a ghost.
my
He's back.
goodness. What's the
Yeah,
matter,
how you
man?
turn on Captain
Is he
Phil
sitting
Pop.
on the John? I'm a little confused here.
So men who were injured or lost a limb while attempting to salvage a shipwreck on the Florida Reef often were hired to serve as lumpers or lookouts in one of the numerous warehouses that dotted the northwest shoreline of Key West. This fictional mate is typical of the many men who found safer employment in Tiff's warehouse. Now this ship would have been cool to find. This was the Ship of Gold. The SS Central America was carrying a cargo of gold value at the time of its sinking in 1857 at over $2 million. The estimated value of the recovered treasure in 1987 was between $100 and $150 million.
Ooh, imagine what it would be today.
And here at the Shipwreck Museum, they got a very, very small, minuscule amount of that gold on display.
It's like some powder.
They wouldn't let him.
Gold.
They wouldn't let him keep one of the bars. Apparently, can't imagine why. This is also from the wreck of Isaac Allerton in 1985. Collection of porcelain plates, mugs, and ewers. What's an ewer? E-W-E-R. Do you know?
An oar? An
Ur.
oar? I know an oar, but I don't know an oar. Is that an oar?
Well, several of the pieces have been reassembled to make the object more easily recognizable.
That's some coffee.
The modern salvagers found only a single plate, which is displayed right here. Oh, excuse me, it's over here. It was survived undamaged. The only plate they found on the whole shipwreck undamaged. So this guy survived a shipwreck. That is cool. All the other stuff broke into pieces. It's still very cool though. A water jug, coffee mug right there. And you got your silverware. And another coffee mug right here. Here's some more from the Isaac Allerton, which sunk in 5 fathoms of water. But a part of the cargo has been saved. From a bulletin on September 18th, 1856. And let's look at these pieces. There's some cool pieces in here. You got a little bottle. You got your ivory toothbrush. They had trouble keeping their teeth really nice and clean back then. Here's a bone comb. A comb made out of bones.
Oh, wow.
How about a whisk broom? Bird shot. Mad Dog powder charges.
Mad Dog 2020.
Doorknobs and handles. A glass lantern. And rubber strips. Oh, and some keys. Oh, and some more over here. Boston Brewery beer tap.
Oh, wow. And there's the key to my heart, Christopher.
Ooh, well, how am I going to break in there and get it?
Well, you already got it.
Oh.
You just must have locked it up.
I keep it locked up secure.
So secure.
Captain John Lowe Jr. I guess this was his house. The captain, I guess, got paid pretty well. Around back, we can get a look into the rooms of the captain's house.
Look at that. I want to play Barbies now.
It's the replica of the home built between 1857 and 1865 by successful sponge and lumber merchant Captain John Lowe Jr. It was located at, or may still be, I don't know, 620 Southern Street in Key West. Look at the bird cage in his house. Yeah. Cool. Look at these glasses and pipes. These are called hair lockets. They're common in Victoria times. Used to hold a lock of hair either as a memorial to a departed loved one or as a romantic keepsake. These casks are known as hogshead. Large casks usually filled with liquid, such as wine or beer, but occasionally used to transport tobacco or food. It would hold 63 gallons and was equivalent to 2 barrels. So these are courting candles. When a woman reaches about the age where she's starting to attract males that want to date her, they would put these candles out, and then the parents would set it to a length that they wanted to allow the gentleman to be there visiting with their daughter, so that once it burned out, the gentleman had to leave.
Well, I can tell that some of the gentlemen didn't get to stay too long.
Look at that one, this poor guy.
My goodness.
You had to make a good impression very quickly.
Right there. That was really bad over
Another
there.
one over there.
Look at how tall that is.
Oh, tall's good.
Tall is
Short's
good?
bad, because once it runs out, then the gentleman has to leave.
Yeah, but don't they start from the beginning? The top is how
Yeah,
big
the
candle?
parent sets it up at whatever length they want to allow the gentleman to stay in their house talking to their daughter.
Oh, okay.
So a good candle could easily burn 2 or 3 hours, but if the parents did not think particularly highly of the would-be Casanova wooing their daughter, they could easily set the candle to burn for a mere matter of minutes, and then he would have to make a real great impression in a real quick amount of time.
Yeah, so depending on where the candle started.
Exactly. Got a curry comb.
How would you like to brush your hair with that?
Curry comb is a tool used to groom a horse's coat.
Oh, good.
Dates back to the
Whoa,
1200s.
wait. I'm not gonna
The
groom my
name,
mane.
the name comes from the practice of those of lower social status to seek advancement or curry favor by grooming a knight or other nobleman's horse. Over here we got ink pots and the feather pen. Used for what?
Writing in calligraphy, or however you pronounce it.
Calligraphy.
Oh, good. What do I get? For pronouncing that right.
A day in Key West.
Ooh, another one? Oh, yay. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Willis?
And here we have a rotary pump. So I got the wheel on the one side. Normally it would have another one over here. And then that makes that go up and down. And then over here is a yellow, or I guess it's white, it looks yellow in here.
It is yellow.
Plastic bag covering something. And over here we have a white plastic bag covering something. And then we will move along to the diver. This looks like, what's that? Adam Sandler. Scuba Steve, right?
Big Daddy.
Yeah. This looks like Scuba Steve a little bit. Hey kids, y'all know about Scuba Steve? Oh, the United States Navy diving equipment. My father was in the Navy, but I'll have to ask him. Don't think he ever wore that particular suit when he served his time in the Navy. Of course, this was before his time a little bit, or a good bit as far as the Navy goes. 20 years before his time in the Navy. 1941, they were using that diving equipment in the Navy. The new era this is taking us more into today. Today, the reefs of the Florida Keys attract the diver and the fisherman with their beauty and marine life. Increased population and tourism bring more vessels than at any time in history. Drownings still occur, and the ghost of the old Key West wreckers would be pleased to see there are still those who hark to the cry of peril at sea and rush to save lives and property. Wrecking and salvage will continue as long as man ventures forth upon the seductive seas. From the Florida Keys and the Coral Reef, by Oliver Griswold. It's a ship's binnacle, which was originally a case or box mounted in front of a ship's helmsman. What's a helmsman? Do you know? Helmsman.
That I don't know.
Intended to store and protect navigational instruments while providing quick and easy access to them. So there you go. Tell us below what that is, please, because we just don't know. Cotton cargo ship on fire. You don't want the cotton to catch fire on your cotton cargo ship, that's for sure. Look, this is what they would have carried it in. Just like that, loaded up on the ship. That catches fire, you're in big trouble.
All right, guys, that wraps up our tour of the shipwreck. Okay, guys, that wraps up the tour of the Shipwreck Museum.
That was a lot of fun, a great view from up top, and we learned a lot of stuff in there. Saw some cool, interesting artifacts, and now it is time to place our sticker on, because we did indeed climb to the top. Or at least I'm gonna place mine on. I don't know if you want yours on or not.
I can put it on.
All right. Here. Here's yours. Here's mine. I
Here
climbed
we
to the
go.
top. Excuse me. I climbed the tower, Key West Shipwreck Treasure Museum.
What do you think of that, huh?
Yeah. Now we look pretty cool walking around town with this sticker on, because people are like, man, they are so brave that they did that.
Exactly.
So y'all be sure to hit the like, smash the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you can come along with us on future adventures.
Come along.
Bye.